Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Ọ bụ Ada Igbo na-ekwu na Igbo Media. N'Igbo Media, anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara ihe na-emegasị na Biafraland, n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. N'ụbọchị nke taata, o nwere ihe bịara n'iru akwụkwọ anyị nke anyị ga-agụpụtara unu n'ụbọchị taa. Anyị gụpụtachaa ya, unu egee ya ka ọha n'uju. Ị ga-esie ya, ị drọpụọla your comment, like kwa this our video and gbasakwa ya ka o ruo ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ozi anyị wetara unu tata si n'aka otu nwanne anyị nwoke, a Biafra activist. Dịka o si wee dere ya ozi a n'iru akwụkwọ, ọ dere sị: breaking news, is Simon Ekpa's convention a victory for Nigerian government or more trouble? As Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff drops shocking bombshell, Biafrans respond. Ya bụ ozi ka anyị ji bịa tata na Igbo Media. Ị ga-esi anya bụ ozi, gwa ya chere ma mekwa ka ozi arute ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa gere ya ka ọha n'uju.
The Nigeria's military following the sentencing of a separatist leader, one authorities in the country have branded a terrorist.
But is there a real distinction between a terrorist and a separatist agitator? And where exactly does the line begin to blur?
If you kill human being, what does that mean? Boko Haram kill people, the IPOB kill people. As far as we are concerned, they are all terrorist organizations.
That is why the Nigerian military says that it is pledging to use every resource at their disposal to crush these threats.
Yet, despite all these assurances, do Nigerians really feel safe?
People are scared. You can feel the tension, you can feel the threat, you can feel if you go to various police stations outside the town, people are being attacked. You cannot drive at night. Your eyes will be extremely open. If you are sleeping, your eyes are open. So the government needs to do more.
People say they are scared. Clearly, the government must step up to protect its people. But is this war on terror confronting the deeper roots of the pro-Biafra movement?
That is the story we want to uncover today.
And I am Mimi Mefo. This is Under the Baobab.
And of course, my name is George Okachi. Indeed, a very warm welcome to Under the Baobab. On this show, we break down complex issues and make them personal.
Talking about making the complex issues personal, we are here every Friday of the week to speak to policymakers. We also talk to politicians and leaders across Africa. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can always be part of this conversation.
And of course, in being part of the conversation, today we are shedding the spotlight on Nigeria.
A court in Finland recently sentenced 40-year-old separatist leader Simon Ekpa to 6 years in prison.
Now, you should know that Ekpa was found guilty by Finnish court for promoting the Biafra region's independence by illegal means, including supplying weapons and explosives to armed groups and inciting others to commit crimes.
Committing crimes, and people have no idea. Some people who are watching have no idea what exactly we are talking about. So just a little background into
contextualizing it.
Yeah. So in 1960s, Nigeria's southeast tried to break away as the Republic of Biafra, sparking a civil war that lasted for 3 years, and it left over 1 million people dead. George, that's just a lot of casualties there.
Yeah, and important to note is that despite the war ending in 1970, calls for independence have not gone away.
Right.
Today, groups like IPOB, Mimi, as you've mentioned, say they are fighting for self-determination, but the government is calling them terrorists.
And now back to present, because we are talking about the sentencing of Simon Ekpa. The latest verdict has been welcomed at the highest level of Nigeria's government. And we have the Brigadier General Tuku Gusau. He spoke to DW. He spoke to us under the Baobab.
Yeah.
He is Director of Defense Information, and he described it as a resounding victory for the Nigerian military.
Yeah, but Mimi, resounding victory for Nigeria's military. This is happening in Finland.
Right,
Very
far away from Nigeria. Right.
How do you contextualize that?
That's the question that I put to him. I just wanted to find out how much impact this can create when it comes to the Biafra War of Independence that has been waging for so many years in Nigeria.
If you recall, this guy has perpetuated a lot of crimes that led to the death of our troops, police, other security agencies, and even the people that he alleged he's protecting. Initially, we wanted him to be extradited. We sent hard evidence that led to his conviction yesterday by the Finnish court.
So this is just one person that has been convicted out of Nigeria. Should you be calling that a victory? Because this is just an individual.
He is the leader of that organization, and he's the one in charge of their terrorist activities. And if he's not in charge, why did he even run out of the country? He ran away. So as far as we are concerned, the leadership has been convicted, and, he is in charge of IPOP.
But many Nigerians are asking whether the military is winning battles abroad, but losing trust at home.
Yes, we won the battle abroad because we initiated his conviction. Lot of terrorist people associated with him were arrested. Some were even neutralized. They were sent to their Mecca. And a lot of progress has been achieved so far. Even in the southeast, the sit-at-home order is no longer as effective as it used to be. Immediately, Simon Ekpa was arrested. They relaxed it. They didn't have the capacity to continue again. And coupled with the operation of our people in that area, we have neutralized a lot of them. We have made sure that people can now come out and engage in their lawful activities as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in all the places where we are operating, a lot of terrorists were arrested. Some of them are being charged by courts. But sometimes the court process can be a bit slow. That is why you don't hear much about convictions. But we have arrested a lot of them, and a lot of them also, over 120-something thousand, have surrendered.
Mm-hmm. The military at work.
Right.
Yeah, and Mimi, the issue of separatists and terrorists and the labeling of the government entities is something that is always very sensitive.
Right.
And it's confusing at some point as well.
Just to say, Georgia, to get a military leader, a military general to speak to the media, it's not easy.
It's not easy. But of course, under the Baobab, we give the platform to these important people to come and clarify the issues. But back to the conversation, Mimi. I'm sure you've been reporting widely, far and large, about separatist movements, and especially in Cameroon.
Right.
And there is a lot of similarities we can draw from Cameroon and Nigeria. Nigeria has the separatist, agitation, and as well as a Boko Haram threat.
Yes.
It's the same as in Cameroon.
Yes,
so
in Cameroon
how
as
is
well.
the government dealing with the two?
Well, I should say that separatist leaders in Cameroon have from time to time also collaborated with the pro-Biafra separatists as well. Mm-hmm. That's something that we need to know. But when it comes to handling the case, like the cases in Nigeria and Cameroon, like you asked, I should say that there are some similarities and dissimilarities. Mm-hmm. Similarities I should say, I will start first of all with the difference between how the Nigerian government is handling the situation in Nigeria and how the Cameroonian government is handling the one in Cameroon. The difference is that the government has tried to hold talks with the separatist leaders
that is in
Cameroon, in quote, separatist leaders, because there have been national dialogue, but this didn't take us anywhere because the conflict really didn't end. Because separatist leaders themselves, those who are clamoring for an independent, a breakaway state called
secession.
Ambazonia, they were not part of the discussion. So it was described as a sham. Nothing ended.
Yes.
There's still violence in the Anglophone regions. But I would also want to say that there's no difference with the way the government in Nigeria and that of Cameroon is handling the separatist conflict, in the sense that there's military deployment as well in the Anglophone regions. Civilians have been targeted also by the military. We've had a lot of rights violations going on. I can go on and on, but certainly this is something that we can get to discuss another time.
Yeah, but definitely the naming and the branding of the two entities as, terrorists. Boko Haram, we know how they maneuver. And equally, we understand that there are some secessionist and separatist agitators who have valid reasons why they are fronting that agenda.
You've described that properly, because when it comes to Boko Haram, we are talking about an ideological war. But when it comes to the separatist conflict, it's as a result of accumulated grievances. Some of them would say that they are being discriminated upon, that they feel like they are the minority, and they always decry like injustice. They want justice. They want to feel like they belong. They feel like they can govern themselves. They don't feel like they can be governed by the central government. So they always want to secede. So the conflicts are kind of different in terms of what the people want.
Yeah, so I'm pretty interested to know, what did the general tell you about this?
The general, well, I wanted him to clarify, to be able to demarcate what the blurry lines between separatists and terrorists or Boko Haram. And this is what he told us.
If you kill human being, what does that mean? Boko Haram kill people, the IPOB kill people, the bandits, so-called bandits, also kill people. So as far as we are concerned, they are all terrorist organizations.
Do you think Nigerians see them as terrorists?
The federal government says so. They have declared as terrorist groups by law.
The government has qualified them as terrorists. What about Nigerians? Do you think Nigerians see them as terrorists?
The federal government represents Nigerians.
Let's look at the modus operandi of Boko Haram. They bomb churches, they kidnapped school children, and they kill thousands. Separatists demand independence, sometimes violently, like you've described, but not on the same scale like Boko Haram. Isn't calling both terrorists blurring the line?
Boko Haram, they are not only bombing churches. They bomb everybody. A terrorist organization is a terrorist organization. So no more, no less. We continue to treat them the way they are.
But some people will argue, General, that this label makes dialogue difficult or practically impossible. Do you worry that by calling the separatist terrorists, the army is closing that door on political negotiations and solutions?
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear on agitations. If you want a state to be created out of your zone, there are ways you can go about doing it in a lawful manner, not through killing people.
So what's the lawful manner for you? What's the lawful manner for you?
They should go through what the Constitution says. Nigeria is a sovereign country. It has its rules, it has its laws, it has its Constitution. And the Constitution has to be abided with. You cannot create or try to impose what you felt can guarantee your own rights. No, you cannot infringe on right of others. You have to respect the right of other people.
Usually, before we come to this discussion with our guests, we make sure that we talk to Nigerians on the streets. Some will say that one is a war for survival and the other is cry for justice. So how does the military respond to this?
Well, I don't want to go into those political issues. I'm not a politician. That should be left for politicians to handle. But what I'm saying is a criminal will be handled as a criminal. If you felt you have any demand that you need the attention of the state, there are better ways of doing that. But by the time you resort to killing people, innocent people, destroying properties, impinging on the human right as guaranteed by the Constitution of other people, then what else do you want? We cannot fold our arms because you are championing certain cost to create mayhem and destruction on people's lives and properties. That we cannot accept.
So, Judge, the general says that he's not a politician.
Doubling down that he's not a politician.
And he also claims that the military is going to do what it takes to secure Nigeria. And because of their efforts so far, Nigeria is safer than before. But the statistics are proving otherwise. When we look at how the rate of insecurity in Nigeria with kidnappings, killings, attacks, and displacements, it tells a different story.
Yeah, and I've been reading, Mimi, and they're very clear that we have over 600,000 of insecurity cases recorded, and we're talking about deaths, and over 2 million, I should say, abductions between May 2023 and April 2024, primarily due to banditry and terrorism.
And this is specifically under the tenure of President Bola Tinubu. right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So, and also,
ngwanụ daalụ niile nụ ụmụnne m dịka unu si na-esoro anyị n'Igbo Media. Gịnị ka unu nwere ikwu na nkọwa nke unu gbasịta maka ihe unu nọ n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa? Gwa anyị ife iche n'ụdị nke gị, deela ya n'akara kọmentị ka mara ihe i chere, ma chetakwa tụsa ya bụ ozi ka o wereta ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị. Ndewo na ụmụnne m, ka emesịanụ.